everybody, welcome to my channel. Today, well, I've got the blues. I'm going to make an art journal page using a napkin, but first I'm going to make something to use in my studio. So I've been organizing and I have these bottles that I refill. Gesso, matte medium, and thickened gesso. And they're all kind of gunged up. So what I'm doing, I'm not even peeling off the label here because that would just take me forever and I just don't want to invest the time. I am putting on a layer of gesso. Not sure that this is absolutely necessary. Here's a baby wipe and I've put a napkin on this. So I'm kind of going for the same look. Really nothing too spectacular here, but I did put the gesso to prepare the surface and I think it's going to make it last longer. Then I'm just measuring where I want the napkin to go using my Tim Holtz cutter, cutting the napkin down to size, peeling off those excess layers, and then I'm just going to glue this down with my fluid matte medium. So I'm putting a coat, I'm putting a little bit there, lining it up, and then I'm grabbing some plastic wrap to spread it to get rid of the wrinkles. Now I'm not looking for perfection here, but you know, as close as I can get. I just want it to be pretty in my studio. And this is the perfect napkin for it. It's the colors of my studio. At the end, I just kind of zigzag it, I watercut it, and put a good coat of the fluid matte medium on top to seal it. And then that's going to make it easier for me to clean any paint or anything that comes on there. I'm just painting in the lines here just to make it match up a little bit, touch up. You can add whatever layers of paint. And when I'm done this, I am going to put a layer of polyacrylic, Minwax polyacrylic varnish just to keep it so I can easily clean. I got my Brother P-Touch out and I'm going to label this because, you know, number of times, how many times I grab it and I grab the matte medium instead of the gesso. So I'm just printing it out, cutting it to size, and I've decided I'm going to put it down below because at the top I get a lot of spillage and grunge, and I figure this is where it's going to sit. I put a label on both sides just to make it easier for me to see afterwards. I'll put a link to the P-Touch information in the description box, and there are my beautiful containers. I think they look good in my studio. So then I had some leftover napkin, and instead of storing it, I decided I'm going to put it in my accidental art journal. Now my accidental art journal is a journal. It's just a composition book that I use leftovers in. That's the start and the continuation of many of the pages, and then when it gets to a certain level, I can actually finish it up. So instead of storing these napkins, these little pieces that were left over, I'm going to add instant color and pattern to my background on this page. Using a napkin gives you that, like I said, the instant color and pattern, but it also will give you texture to your page. Now this page on the composition book, I did put a coat of gesso so it knocks back the lines a little bit, but you still see them, but that's just added pattern. So I ripped them, got rid of any straight edges, and then I'm just gluing this down with my fluid matte medium in its brand new decor, clothing. So this is like the first layer, and it's setting the color scheme for me, so I don't even have to think. So it's great to have an accidental art journal because as soon as if you've got little bits of napkin left over after you've used a focal image from a napkin and you've got some of the background, you can just open up the book, glue it down onto an existing or started page or a brand new page. So like I said, I have been organizing my studio. I have been sorting papers and products. because this is what's happening in the rest of my house. We have painters in, and basically I have been left to the studio and I am making use of my time. So I grabbed a couple pieces of copy paper, and I did one in turquoise with a little bit of Naples yellow. I lost the footage. And the other one I painted with a makeup sponge in Prussian blue. So now I'm going to use this daisy stencil from the Crafter's Workshop, and I am tracing the images. I'm using a white charcoal pen because I want it to show up. So I am just tracing it. Now, you could absolutely free draw the daisies or the flowers here. I just wanted them to be somewhat the same, and no fuss, no muss. I didn't want to have to think or try too hard. So I'm using what I have. I'm just filling in the lines. And I have the perfect daisy. And then I'm going to trace out a variety of different color or shapes or sizes of this using that same stencil. Now here's a trick. Layer it up. So I traced once, but I'm going to cut through 2 or 3 layers of paper instead of tracing out as many flowers as I want. And this is just a time saver. And there we have the 2 of them identical. My plan is to layer these up. But first, I want to add more interest to my background. So I'm going to add some stamping. This is a DIY foam stamp that I made. And I will link that video because it's a great way to add a lot of mark makers to your stash. And I'm putting on black acrylic paint with the Ranger blending foam. I decide I should tape off the edge here just so I don't get it on the background paper, just to keep it neat. I just want to add more marks. So now we had the napkin underneath. What I'm doing here knocks back that. So every layer you put on top will push back whatever is underneath it. Now it looks less like you just glued some napkin on there. And I just wipe it off with a baby wiper cloth. Now I have a container of different size lids. These are excellent circle mark makers. So I have the lid, I'm just putting on the acrylic paint, and I'm stamping with these. So before you throw out a lid, check. Try it out, put some paint on it and see, does it give you a mark that you like? Because it can become a wonderful stamp. So I'm just putting some circles, I'm overlapping the circles. Again, I am just adding marks and interest to my background. This just goes to prove you don't have to use expensive items. This is the center of the tape dispenser, and you get this double circle. Love that. Often I use the circle mark makers in a final layer with gold. I don't on this page, but try it. So we're going to add a little bit more interest to the flowers. They're a little bit more, they're flat in one tone. So I grab some, that's shelf liner, and I'm putting on acrylic paint in a contrasting color and stamping with it. Again, dollar store, recycle bin products that you can use as stamps to add interest to your pages. So I'm just going here, I'm lightening up the turquoise a little bit because I want that contrast. And you can see the difference that makes. It just livens up these flowers. So I'm going to go and add a little bit more to each one as I see fit. Now you could use ready-made stamps too if you want. So now I want to start gluing down the focal images, which are the flowers. And I am going to layer them up by putting the big one, and I'm alternating the colors here with the blue and the turquoise. And why did I choose those colors? Well, of course, they're in the napkin. Now, I painted these papers to make the focal images, but you could have gone through your gel prints or scrapbook papers and used that. Now, my plan here was to do just 3 of them. Of course, plans change as you work on your page. And I decided I'm going to put still an odd number, but 5 of them. I just play with the composition. Here I'm just kind of putting in one of the sentiments, and I decide I want to add a little bit more stamping, a little bit more interest. This is where you're tweaking. You have an idea, and then it's like, oh, well, now I need to do this, or oh, it's missing something. So I'm constantly evaluating what I have, what I need to add. Now, because the background and the focal image are pretty much the same color, I know I'm going to have to do some shading to bring that out, to make those stand out. And here I'm repeating, I'm adding more focal images. Some are even going off the page, where I'll just cut off the excess. So this is the Reach for the Stars sentiment pack, and I have a page of these larger size words, and I love them. They're big and bold, you know, the font it's dark, so they really stand out on a busy page like this. Now with digital sentiments, you can resize these using your printer settings or what, and I actually end up shrinking it down to make them smaller. I thought those were a little bit too big. I also punched out some circle shapes using the same copy paper that I had painted in the blue, in the turquoise, and I'm adding these as centers to the flowers. It just seemed to need it. That's what I mean. Like, you just look at the page. What does it need? So here I'm grabbing my angle brush and some acrylic paint, and I'm going to do the shading with the paint. This is just going to make those focal images stand out more from the background. Sometimes I go for a contrasting background. Other times, like here, I have the same colors in the background. And shading or highlighting is what you need to do to make it stand out. I like using this technique because I just find it very zen, and the acrylic paint that I'm using, it's permanent when dry. But you can use a Stabilo all pencil or a charcoal pencil to get a similar shading effect if that's what you have and that's what you're comfortable doing. You do you. And then to add more distinction, let's do some doodling. Here I'm doing doodle dots. I'm just using my white Posca pen and I'm adding dots around the flowers. This is adding another interesting detail to them, and I'm loving it. Now this video has been sped up. When you are doodling and using, you know, the pens, often you have, I find if I go too fast, I'm not getting the coverage or the opacity that I want. So if it's not working, maybe slow down a little bit. Here I'm just adding just white lines, sketchy white lines. I go over it a couple times. I'm just having fun. I don't do doodling a lot. But here you can see how this really makes it pop and stand out in combination with the shading that I did. And if you look at the background, you see a little bit of the napkin, you see a little bit of the stamping, but it's definitely a background. If you like the videos in my channel, please give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. If you are a subscriber, thank you. For everybody watching, click on the bell and check to see that you have the option to be notified of upcoming videos. You'll get a thumbnail, you can decide if it's of interest, but you'll never miss one of my videos. Those are all ways that you can help me grow my channel. And here are the words, and you know, all along I was going to go portrait, and then I decided to go landscape. Wish, imagine, and explore. I grab my black Posca pen and I'm just outlining the sentiment just to make it stand out a little bit more. I also shaded around or edged the page with the black acrylic paint when I did the shading of the flowers. Stay tuned. Once my studio is all back up and running and organized, I will be doing a studio tour. Let me know if you're interested in that in the comment section below. I heat up the tape. That loosens the glue and makes it easier so I don't peel off too much of the paper. So your challenge today, go create a page using some blues. Until next time, go get creative.